this. Welcome to the American Forked Podcast. Keep your minds and mouths inside the cart at all times. This is episode 79.
Wow.
Today.
Ooh.
Episode 79 of the podcast.
You know what they say about 79?
Yep, it's
right before 80.
we're at the end of the 70s.
It's right before you get old. Is that when you turn old, is when you're 80?
Okay. Yep.
I thought it was 40,
I hope.
which is
I sure hope not.
it's coming down the pike here soon.
Not according to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 40 is the new
30?
20.
Black? The new black?
Once you go 40, you never go back?
Right.
You don't.
That was a reference to Thor, isn't he 40?
I don't know.
Is he? I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like, though, if you have a midlife crisis at 30, you can expect to die at 60, right?
Yeah.
Because it's middle of your life. So you can just base how when you're going to die based off your midlife crisis.
Oh,
Are we doing a podcast?
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
keep going.
Pretty cool.
My name is Jake. I am hosting this evening. Across from me, I have Jeff,
Yes, that's the right one.
who is a crossing from Phil.
I'm Phil. Be prepared for wisdom and truth to come spilling out of my mouth.
Your mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
For 15% of the show.
59%.
We'll let you guys determine the other 85% what it is. Thanks for joining us. As always, if you would like to help support the show financially, you can donate to the show. Whatever dollar increment you want at patreon.com/AmericanForked.
Yeah. It can be $1. It can be $30. It can be $100,000 a month.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely could be that.
Whatever
Could be $100,000 once.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could be like 25 cents.
But you
Once.
have to cancel because they automatically set you up on
right.
auto pay.
Oh yeah, it's auto pay. So
Spoiler alert.
budget well. If it's 25 cents, we don't know. It doesn't tell us who you are. It just says Magic Mike gave you 25 cents. So
It does
Good
tell
one.
us though who they are.
oh, does
That's
it?
okay.
Oh, okay. So, so don't put your name on it.
Yeah. Also, did we update our last episode on the website? 78?
Yeah.
77?
Yep.
We did. Okay. So all of our episodes are also on our website. So if for any reason you can't listen on your podcatcher, which is probably how you're joining us, you can go to AmericanForked.com and listen to the shows there and like it.
Yeah, and I've noticed I need to make it so when you click on the episodes, it loads them by year or something because it's like trying to load
every single one.
80 episodes, so it probably kind of slow for you if you're a internet listener.
Yeah, you should get that fixed.
One day,
We should fix that. Put in a ticket,
Yeah, put in a ticket.
put in a
a
request.
change request
I'll get it done
for
in
our
6
developers.
months.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did notice that. So this week we kind of go by week. At least I monitor the weekly downloads of the show, and this week has gone significantly higher. Like trending wise, we're way higher than past weeks.
Thank you, listeners. Thanks for giving us money. Thanks for listening. Thanks for laughing at our jokes, and thanks for being offended by everything Jeff or Trent
Or Kylie.
or Kylie
Says.
or Beagle says.
And go buy some Peak Refuel,
Yep.
which has a new flavor, a new meal.
Let's not talk about it because they're not our sponsor.
It's another Chad Mendez meal.
Oh, that's
Chad
great.
Mendez is one of their guys who develops some of their meals.
Oh,
It's like a peaches and oatmeal or something like that.
oh, is it?
Peaches and cream.
Yeah. So
Wasn't my
it's
favorite.
good.
The oatmeal and strawberries or whatever. And
The granola.
Yeah.
Strawberry granola one.
I
I didn't get that one because I remembered it's like too watery or something. Like it just didn't.
It's just I'm not I can't do milk in any other form, but like
Straight from the
pasteurized
teat.
2%, or fresh milk
In your cereal.
somewhere there. But once you get past that to like box milk or powdered milk
Yeah.
or anything like that, it's over.
Yeah. Peak Refuel. Buy it. So, as per the usual, I'm going to bring up some things that are happening locally. And actually, American Fork has had a few things going on. And I wanted to find something that was not about murders
Oh,
or someone dying.
Oh,
And I did find one. It's not heartwarming, but it's not about death. So the topic, my topic title of this one is called "Don't Visit AF Canyon."
oh.
What do you think this is about besides AF Canyon?
It's too busy. Leave us alone.
Yeah. Long story short, it's too busy. So Utah County Sheriff's Office is vexed by uptick in illegal canyon parking. So American Fork and Spanish Fork canyons are being very overloaded.
So wait, the whole canyon is parked illegally?
The whole canyon is there illegally. Yeah, they need to give it a ticket.
God put it there. I think he's fine.
So illegal parking in canyon areas throughout the county has increased, causing concern for the Utah County Sheriff's Office, or UCSO, and other emergency personnel. So the Utah County Sheriff's Office and the Forest Service are going to start citing people, giving citations out for people who are parked illegally at, day camps and the lakes, the reservoirs, and all that stuff, because they need to make sure that there's a steady flow of traffic. And if there's any emergencies, they need to be able to get in.
Yeah.
So,
sounds reasonable. I think it gets so crazy. And there's certain canyons that are worse than others, and American Fork is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They got more sheer walls of canyon on the sides. It's not like a big open
It's not like Provo Canyon, which is like they have 4 lanes plus like room for 3-4 more lanes.
Yeah, and there's land on the side of the roads where you go to American Fork Canyon. It's like there's a cliff on one side and there's a river on the other side. Mm-hmm. So if you park messed up in there, it's going to kind of screw things up for show.
Yeah, it's hard to get around cars that are not parked in the right spots.
You know what I realized recently? Because I backpacked from the Timpanuki trailhead
Someone's bragging.
down to the Grove Creek parking lot. There's a dirt road there from Timpanuki that winds around the front side of Timp. And there's like a big campsite way out there. You have to off-road for quite a while. Mm-hmm. But there's like lots of campsites along there. I passed a lot. The trail kind of follows right next to the road. And I passed a lot of people camping out there. And they're actually like spaced far enough that you feel like you would be camping, mm-hmm. and you're not like piled up in someone else's business.
So. That was Timpanuki, you said?
Yes, from the Timpanuki trailhead parking lot, you drive west a little bit, like toward the end of the campground, mm-hmm. and then there's like a dirt road there. You just get on that dirt road. And
that's the one that goes around the north end of Timp and then around to the valley side.
It comes to the west side.
To the west side of Timp. Yeah, around the north end, yeah.
And it comes, and there's a bunch of campsites along the way, and at the end of it, or close to the end, there's like a bigger campsite you can like turn around in and stuff. It's a rougher road. Actually, I say it's rough because the last time I drove on it, it was really rough, but I hiked on it for several sections and it was like freshly graded. Like you could drive it in a car. So I'm telling you people because I don't care. I'm not going to camp there because I have my own place, but if you're looking for a place to go in American Fork Canyon, you don't want to be overrun with people, but you want a car camp.
That's a good place?
That's a good place.
So it's just past Timpanuki Trailhead, not the Timpanuki campground.
You get to the parking lot. It. You drive west mm-hmm. from the parking lot, which takes you like by all the campsites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the road.
Mm-hmm.
You get on it, you drive
mm-hmm.
on it,
mm-hmm.
and you just keep driving until you find a good spot.
Mm-hmm. This is really captivating podcasting right now.
Yeah. And it's you're allowed to drive on it with your vehicle that is street legal, but it's closed to like 4-wheelers and stuff.
We're starting a new podcast that's going to be released every Friday. It's called mapquest.com, where we just verbally and audibly describe how to get to different places.
You're welcome.
And then you turn left at the fork.
Yep.
And keep driving for a mile.
Everyone listening is like, can you just tell me so I can Google it?
Yes.
Just give me a Google waypoint.
Do you remember though? Like I remember I went on a road trip with Jake and our girlfriends at the time, and I printed off a MapQuest thing because that's what you did.
Like 8-10 pages of MapQuest directions.
That's what the printer sounded like.
Not front back, because that's confusing.
I always just use the map that you got at the gas station.
Oh yeah,
there's just like maps there at the front.
The what?
The map.
A map.
It's like all folded up.
Oh, you bought
a map.
You bought apps at the gas station?
No, a map. Like
I'm the app. I'm the app. I'm the app. I'm the app.
A paper.
I'm the app.
A paper app.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay.
Google app.
Paper.
It's what you would use in a zombie apocalypse, basically.
And you
just to translate, Jake.
And you used a compass.
And a compass.
Sweet.
No, I always know innately which way I'm facing.
Good. Then don't go to American Fork as a story. Oh wait, American Fork Canyon.
Well, the Utah County Sheriff's Office and the parks, the people who stay in the canyon and
the loners.
They wear the brown suits.
And then the green trucks.
They look like Boy Scouts.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So they don't want you to park there.
They're telling you to have a plan B. So if where you want to go is full, the parking is full, then either park farther away and walk in or go somewhere else.
Yep. Go somewhere else. That's what we say.
And go early enough to where, you don't have any parking issues.
Okay.
So if everyone's going too early, then you'll have a problem earlier.
I love this story. What's the next one?
Don't go to American Fork Canyon. My next one is Utah-wide.
I haven't even been to Tibble Fork since they've redone it.
It's different.
It's just a paint job.
Yeah.
Parking lot's huge, and in the summer it's packed.
Sorry, that was kind of halfway like an attempt to derail you again. And halfway,
to re-rail you?
Yep.
I was really thinking that.
I was derailing you, and he was re-railing you.
You re-railed me back onto the original topic.
Railed.
My next story is Utah-wide. You guys have probably heard of Crumble Cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the big cookie company in Utah.
In American
Apparently
Fork.
multi-billion-dollar company. And they say that they serve 1 billion cookies a day.
1 billion cookies a day.
I also heard they have horse meat in
But
it.
it was either that, I could have sworn it was 1 billion, but if not, then it's 1 million. Nonetheless, it's only 1,000 times more. Nonetheless,
How many cookies?
that would be
Crumble
3 cookies for every American every day. So are they like an international thing?
Well, they do. I think they have stores outside of Utah, but
it's got to be 1 million. That's my guess.
so they are. I could have sworn the sign said serves 1 billion a day, but anyway.
You were at McDonald's.
Oh yeah,
it says 1 billion served.
But so Crumble is the leader of the cookie craze in Utah, and there are a couple other stores that have popped up recently, and
Applebee's
are being pretty popular.
Yeah.
And Crumble has filed a lawsuit against those two companies. Those
Crave?
companies are Crave and Dirty Dough.
Oh, really? Because they make cookies?
Because they make cookies.
Oh, I didn't realize someone had patented the cookie.
Only Crumble is allowed to make cookies. So the topic of this story, this article, is Crumble playing dirty. So they have filed a lawsuit against those two companies. So my understanding is there was an employee who worked for Crumble who wanted, according to Crumble, asked to franchise. Crumble said, no, we don't franchise. So he broke off and started Dirty Dough. And Dirty Dough is their concept is that they have fillings inside of their cookies, like chocolate or peanut butter or some sort of jelly. Sadness. And the lawsuit against those two companies is based on the branding. So they're saying that these companies are... somebody just jump on?
Yeah.
Who is that?
No, I've been listening for a little while.
Oh, it's Bolty.
Hey, Bolt.
Como East.
So it let you in without me having to accept you?
Well, I can do an audio in because, anytime I try to join, I get ignored for 15 minutes and then I give up.
So sorry I've been talking, but I've been going in every few minutes to see if someone is there.
You always just stop talking first. So,
this is a podcast. I'll stop talking and then go check the Google Meet and see if they're there. But thanks for joining, Bolter. We're glad you're here. Yes.
Yeah,
by the way, to answer your
you
text.
get a solid 10 minutes with me, so let's make it good.
Oh, okay. So this is actually kind of up your alley. When did you join?
Things are up in my alley.
When did you join? How much did you hear?
So you're talking about Crumble and how they apparently sell 1 billion cookies a day.
Yeah, that's wrong.
And okay, I
Did you
think there's
Google it,
about
Jeff?
500 stores, give or take, nationwide of Crumble, because me and Lacey were actually looking into different franchise options. So,
Crumble's not going to let you do it.
They don't let you do franchising. So,
But
screw them, and let any other company who has a similar idea.
Dirty Dough does franchise apparently. So
Yeah.
They Crumble has taken the branding of Dirty Dough and Crave side by side and said, "Hey, look, these companies copied our logo, our branding. They're taking advantage of our, our fan base and the Crave behind the cookies, and they're utilizing it to create this movement on their end." And apparently, Dirty Dough has skyrocketed in sales because of the whole thing. They're totally capitalizing on this situation.
It's always, most people don't like it when companies are litigious. They like to sue. They're a little sue happy. Because then you aren't doing it for the customer anymore. You're doing it. You prove that you're only doing it to make money rather than to put out a good product.
Yeah, the bottom line is more important than the...
Yeah, because if it was all about, okay, they're basically suing because they don't want competition. Or they're kind of saying, we can't make our cookies any better, so please don't try to take our business. So for me, it's more like, okay, if there's going to be competition, then make a better product.
Innovate, yeah. Yeah, I've always thought that competition breeds innovation more than anything else. So if Crave wants to keep the majority of the customers, then they should
Crumble.
innovate.
Yeah, if Crumble wants to keep the majority.
Yeah.
Crave is awkwardly similar to Crumble, though.
Is it?
I think so. Their logos and there's a lot of similarities that I've seen. But
yeah, from what I've seen in the stories that I've read and social media and stuff, Crave is being a little bit quiet, but Dirty Dough's super loud about the whole thing. They're saying this lawsuit's pretty much
bull
dumb.
Yeah.
It's bull crap, and we're getting a lot of business. Anyway, so
that could be a good indicator that they don't have a good case, because usually the people with the better case are very quiet because they're we'll just let the court handle this.
Yeah.
And people who aren't going to win are trying to win in public opinion instead.
They don't want to muddy the waters.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I was always going to say Costa Vida and what's the other one?
Cafe Rio.
Cafe Rio. I don't know who started first, but they're exactly the same thing, right?
Cafe Rio
Rio's
started
been around
first,
for
and then
longer.
Costa Vida came up. And they did have a lawsuit. Again, another one that we looked into franchising. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're just
And there's even another one, isn't there? That isn't as common. What was that one called? Big Five Taco Slam.
There's
something.
Bajío's.
Grill.
Uh-huh.
No, that's more fish. I'm thinking of one. I can't remember.
Name that Mexican place.
Yeah. Utah people.
I mean, Chipotle is similar, but then that's more nationwide.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Cafe Rio is probably more in line with what Utah likes than what. Anyway, so Chipotle is a little bit more hipstery, where they serve more.
Yeah.
And they also give you a burrito and not chalupa style or whatever, where they pour all the stuff all over it.
Enchilada style.
Enchilada style.
Chalupa. Good guess.
They don't do that.
So I'm sitting here trying to remember the name of this burger place, and I cannot remember it for the life of me. But a burger place moved in not too far from my house in West Valley, and it was basically a 100%. You could walk into this place and know it's a 100% In-N-Out burger ripoff. The same tile, the same color schemes.
Oh yeah, didn't it used to be called Chatters?
Yes,
Yeah.
Chat. That was it.
Chatters,
Good job, Phil. So they opened Chatters, something like that.
Yeah.
They
Chatters.
opened 5 locations in Utah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a little backstory because they went out of business real quick
Because they got sued.
But there's two things that I extrapolated from the story, which I'm not sure if is total 100% truth. So here it goes. They opened up, they got sued because theirs, like I said, was very obvious. Not only that, the people that started Chatters were actually ex-managers from like big stores from In-N-Out.
Yeah.
In-N-Out wouldn't allow them to do anything to move into Utah because they have a very strict policy on their
marriage.
The scriptures on the bottom of their
John
cups.
3:16 at the bottom of the cup. No, it has to do with they only open stores within a certain distance from their meat processing areas. And the closest one they had was Vegas. So they could have it in St. George, but they couldn't have it like up in Salt Lake and stuff because that was their closest distribution center. But after they lost the lawsuit and closed down all those Chatters, that's when In-N-Out actually moved up to Utah.
Because they were like, oh, they already set up all the infrastructure for us.
There's obviously a demand, right?
Yeah, they tested the market for us before we sued them.
But
the week that Chatters opened in American Fork, it opened in like where the Smith's parking lot is, or it's not Smith's anymore, it's Hobby Lobby.
Lobby, yeah.
That was actually like our busiest week at JCW's because it was like all over like KSL and the local news that, hey, there's a In-N-Out knockoff in American Fork, and people were just
they
on
thought
the
it was
side of town.
They thought it was you.
It must be there. Look at how many people are there.
They just wandered into a burger place that they weren't familiar with, and we ended up being pretty busy that week.
They just walk into a McDonald's. I think this is the place.
Well, no, that makes sense because JCW's is like real busy, like In-N-Out. Like they've got a long drive-in line.
Yeah, that's true.
So people probably like, oh, it must be that. Where the Chatters was like there was nobody there.
Yeah, it was just crickets.
Yeah.
He was on Christian Row.
Yeah.
Where Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby are.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was just like In-N-Out. I remember I was excited because I liked In-N-Out, and they had their menu. They had the stubby double instead of the double at In-N-Out. They had the stubby double, which was the same thing.
I like the way you're talking.
So it pretty much was just like let's do the exact same thing, just change like the last letter of words.
Right.
Would you like it non-humanoid style?
This restaurant is called In and Bout.
In and About.
In-N-Out with two N's.
That's funny. You know, I've never liked In-N-Out.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's the same as Wendy's to me. Especially the fries.
Always fresh, never frozen.
It's cheaper. You know, like it's definitely cheaper than JCW.
It's really affordable. I like their burgers. I do not like their fries though, at all.
Yeah, they're like potato chips.
Get the fries animal style. It's the only way you can eat them.
They're good animal style, but I get my burger animal style, and I don't want to overdo it.
Don't do that.
What happens when the fries are animal style?
They turn into little animals, and then they eat themselves.
They put cheese and Big Mac sauce on it.
Oh, really?
It's actually pretty good.
Sounds...
And grilled onions.
Next time you go there and you don't want to go there, get that.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
Deal.
So the lawsuits from Cravings or Crave.
Oh,
Crumble and Crave and Dirty Dough.
You know what? They should all go out of business. They don't need to like release diabetes on the world. I swear to God, every time I eat one of those cookies, I'm like, here it goes.
This is how I go.
Get in line for insulin.
This is how I end it.
That's why we always get those texts. I love you guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
because we know you had a cookie.
I'm at Crumble, yeah.
I don't know. The Dirty Dough cookies actually look really good because they've got the filling in them.
Yeah.
And they're just super yummy looking.
They need healthier options. That's all I'm saying.
Come up with a new thing.
You want
people.
you want a kale cookie?
An impossible cookie?
An impossible kale cookie granola bar.
Beyond cookie.
Yeah.
Come up with your own thing. If you're going to make a cookie thing, you don't have to go copy the restaurant exactly and name all the things the same stuff. There's a lot of different ways you can decorate.
Nestle Toll House. It's Nestle Toll House.
Yeah.
Toll House with HAUS.
Use the Hershey's brand or whatever.
Come to American Forked Crumbly Cookies. We're crumbly.
That's right.
So the next Utah story is I saw a news article that said, is the training table returning?
Oh,
why didn't you lead with that with Bolt here?
Yeah.
I could have, but I didn't.
No, he's working up to it. It's going good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Is there
My
a short
stories
answer?
always tend to be about food for
Is
some
there a
reason.
short answer? Yes. No. Which one?
Well, we don't know. It was a teaser. So the training table put out a tweet or something, posted somewhat cryptic message this week announcing its possible return, writing, quote, "Tasty things coming soon." And it had the training table logo with the phone on top. And that was it. So
Wait. They have a Twitter account? They've been out of business for like a decade.
Yeah, but they went
Probably
out of business
before-
before Twitter
before
I
started.
don't know
Twitter.
if it was Twitter. It said the website. Oh, it was the website.
Oh, okay.
So they still have a website.
Which is also awkward. That was
is
built in 1994.
A waste of money. Yeah, maybe they
They have a MySpace.
they opened their website from Tasty Things Coming Soon back from 1996.
Uh-huh.
I don't know when it started, but anyway, 2016 the training table closed, and the training table was kind of like the
Wait, it made it to 2016?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trump
Where?
was like, we're closing it down. That's how it happened.
I think that one was at Sugar House.
Yeah,
Oh.
Sugar House, I think it was the last one standing.
yeah
Weird.
Salt Lake City, Holiday, Layton, Riverton, Sandy, and there was one in Provo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right where JCW's is.
It's literally the JCW's store.
Yeah, I don't know why this article didn't.
We bought the training table and tore it down to the foundation and built a JCW.
When they ripped open some of the walls, they had just cases of fry sauce, and they're like, "Sweet, we could use this." A secret
yeah, no, that's
recipe.
what they're actually going to resell. We sold it back to them, and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just sell this fry sauce to get our seed money for starting all over again."
So, is it going to happen? I'm
We
kind of
don't know.
excited.
So this Fox 13 article just says we don't know. That's all that the training table said. No other
So
information.
here's my inside information on it.
Oh.
Just
I'm
to
so
get-
glad
to
you're on the
clarify is the owners of JCWs used to work at Training Table.
Uh-huh.
They were like the regional managers.
Uh-huh.
And so they're still kind of in touch with the original owner who retired and then left it to the kids. But the kids,
I don't think you can say
they
that
didn't work in
word.
the store very often. They just, so they were more on the business management side rather than customer side. So it slowly fell apart, and they still own the rights and everything. But so either someone else bought the rights to like a hedge fund group, might have been For Foods Group. They actually own like Kneaders and places like that.
Huh.
And so they're going to start out with selling Training Table fry sauce at your local grocer is the plan. So you'll be able to find Training Table fry sauces and possibly their hickory sauce too on the shelf.
Ah.
So that's
If
what's-
popular enough, then they'll buy a restaurant or land and try to
Start back up.
go from there.
So the exciting thing coming soon is fry sauce.
and
which
hickory sauce.
I believe so.
Which is always better if you just make it at home. That's my rule.
You mean the same?
No, it's better.
I think
If
it's
you go
the
get
same.
pre-bottled fry sauce that you just squirt out of the thing, it's better to just get mayo and make it at home.
Yeah.
Like
Correct.
taste-wise.
Yeah.
Well, you can adjust the
So
flavor to your.
it's all about the quality of mayo you're using. Everybody uses Heinz ketchup, no matter it's ketchup. But yeah, like you want to use a higher quality mayo for it to taste good. And most of those like
Best
Art
foods.
Circle and prepackaged mayo, they're just getting the cheaper mayo so it lasts longer and doesn't cost them that much.
So JCW's uses what? Best Foods? Hellman's?
He's going to have to kill you
No,
if he answers that.
that's a little bit on the proprietary side, but we do a premium brand that we get through Nicholas and Company.
Eat that, Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
Okay,
It's so,
I will if you give me some.
It's so fancy you can't even buy it.
It's so fancy, we can't even tell you.
I've
If
made
you use the like Japanese mayo that you can get at stores, it's probably pretty close to that. So,
like the kiwi mayo and the banana mayo.
not banana mayo.
They've got that in Korea.
like where you go to the Asian market.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So cool. I'm following you guys 100%. Does the mayo come in a bag?
It comes in a 20-pound box with a bag inside of it. So
One thing that always
we buy a lot of it.
That's all he can tell us.
One thing that always made me nervous was when food would come in bags, like from fast food places. And that's a lot of food that does that, huh, Bolt?
Oh yeah.
Bags.
Old bags.
That's what I always say.
I have another-
That's what you actually say that all the time when you're bored of something.
Bags.
Yep, that's what I always say. I'm calling you out
Do
right
you
now.
understand?
Do you
Let's move on.
understand?
Do you
That's
understand?
the other thing.
My wife would be laughing her head off because that's usually what I say when she's like complaining about something and I kind of zone out. And then she gets done and looks at me and I'm like, that's what I've always been saying. then she gets way mad at me.
And then you look at her and you go, do you understand?
Well, I got to get going, guys. You have a good one.
Hey,
Okay,
thanks.
bye.
Thanks for popping
Thanks,
on,
Paul.
Bolty.
Thanks for the
We'll
insight.
see you.
Love you.
Great. That's what I always
Love you.
say.
Third and final Utah story.
Okay. There's
Okay.
too many Utah stories.
I
You
know,
have to
so
stop.
much going on.
Stop.
I'll stop.
Okay, go.
I'll go. There's a statewide turf buyback program going on in Utah right now. So the Utah government will pay you money for taking your lawn, the grass off your yard.
Oh,
As long as you, I guess, you have to prove or promise that you'll put some sort of a low water use landscaping
Like
in place of it.
concrete?
Concrete or rocks or
weeds.
weeds.
Weed?
Really fire hazardous weeds.
So what are they paying per square foot or how's that work?
So let's see.
If you don't know, it's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah, don't think it gave me a cost that basically House Bill 121 in Utah provides $5 million in incentives for people that want to voluntarily replace turf with drought-resistant landscaping and imposes water conservation requirements by state agencies at state government facilities. But it doesn't say how much they are going to pay you.
It's probably like every government program where it's like, we'll pay you $1,000 per square yard up to $3,000.
Up to
Yeah.
You're like,
$1,500.
sweet. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
makes sense.
So that's one of Utah's answers to the drought.
And
Yes.
and
Water
prayer.
usage
Yeah.
and prayer. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
need to pray
Vegas
about
did this. Vegas outlawed grass, and they said it saved them like 15% of their water.
You always give these stats about water like it's not a big deal. 15%'s a lot.
Is
It's
it?
a lot.
Yeah. If you have 1 billion gallons, 15%'s like a lot.
I guess.
But we determined a couple weeks ago.
But it's obviously not helping because
That-
the lake is like dying.
But it's 15% better.
Yeah.
Is it though?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I'm just saying.
It's like climate change for me. They're like, oh yeah, if we assassinate everyone who works for coal or oil or drives a car tomorrow, then the Earth will warm by 2 degrees instead of 3.9.
in 160 years.
And I'm like, then it's not worth it.
right.
Then we'll be only, have 20 feet of ocean rise
instead of 19.
instead of 19 and a half.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, 21 and a half.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I'm like, then who cares?
Yeah.
Why bother? Why
didn't
save 15%?
I get what you're saying. You're like, you didn't solve the problem.
Well, yeah, or make a big enough effect that it like was worth changing my life for, worth bothering me about.
Speaking of ocean level rising, what's the argument about ocean levels going up? Is it because of the melting of the ice caps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people not understand that if you take a glass completely full of water and ice, so ice is like piling over the top,
You're ignoring the science.
and if
Jake.
you melt and you let it sit and the ice melts, will that glass overflow?
Whoa, dude, I'd never thought about this before. Doesn't it get less ice?
Well, the ice will melt.
I mean, doesn't it get less in volume? Because doesn't ice take up more volume than water?
if there's air in it, technically it would, but most ice is just sitting water.
But it does take up.
No,
It does
water,
expand.
Water expands when it
expand when
freezes,
when it
which means
freezes.
when it melts, it would despand. Right?
The answer to my question is no. The water will not overflow. But if the polar ice caps melt, water level does not change in depth in volume at all.
Well,
In the
look at it this
level.
way, though. What if that water is not submerged? What if the ice is not submerged, but it's on
Right.
land?
If it's
or
on
up
land
higher,
and
like
it-
it's poking out.
And it melts and feeds water into the the water, then yes,
Yeah.
the water level would rise.
Like, what if you have like that? We were talking about a certain shaped popsicle earlier that's like a foot long, sticking out of the top of
Big kahuna.
yeah, sticking out of the top of your glass. Obviously, when that melts, it's going to overflow the glass. So it would have to be only above water.
Right.
Ice.
If the ice is buoyant and melts, it will not change the level of the water.
Right.
But I think when they talk about polar ice caps, it's more like what you're talking about. It's on land, or it's
In the mountains.
or it's so tall that it's sticking. It's like, you're right. But then if you took shaved ice and put it in the top of your cup and put it up like 4 inches, that would fill the glass up.
I don't think so. Shaved ice is
Let's
a
do
lot
an
of its air.
experiment next time. Bring your.
I don't think we could get ice to melt in
Bring
this
all
room.
the orifices
It's
you
not
want.
really hot in here.
It's
It's not 85 degrees in this room right now.
Oh,
It's 84
I think we could. Yeah, we lost a degree in the last 30 minutes.
because I closed my mouth.
Because
Oh.
obviously, the global warming advocates, global warming crowd, they always show videos of like a glacier breaking off into the water.
Right.
And how that's devastating because it's breaking. I don't...
Here's the,
Those floating glaciers melting, if they melted completely, it wouldn't change the level of the water.
I think you're incorrect about that. But here's what I do know for sure. Florida would probably call us and be like, hey, we don't have land anymore. You guys might want to worry about it. And even then, we wouldn't care because we're like, how high are we here? 4,500 feet above sea level.
but-
Who cares?
But if half of Antarctica melts, that's a lot of freaking land that just opened up.
Yeah, the Floridians could move up there,
Down.
down there, like I said.
It's not flat, Jeff.
Oh, but Florida is.
That's true.
I think Florida rises like 500 feet across the whole state. Like that's the highest. But a lot of it,
it's like
if you look
every
at the
10 years
topographical
it goes-
maps of Florida, it's like way inland is like 5% or 5 feet higher than like ocean level. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't care about those people and their fancy houses on the beach that are going to get flooded. It's not that I don't care. It's just like one day you'll be like, oh, I guess we got to move because the water's coming up into our house.
yeah,
And that'll be like 150 years from now.
I get what you're saying. It's like here we're in earthquake country. So if we had an earthquake and all our houses fell down, like okay, well this is where we live.
Yeah.
This is what we deal with.
And we've grown up our whole lives knowing that Utah has a big fault
That
line.
we're all gonna die in
And
an
they'll have a
earthquake?
massive earthquake one day. We all know that.
Yeah.
So
So why
we don't
would you
have to like start digging holes and putting up beams to hold the crust together. We just let it happen.
Write it
Right.
out. Like living in Tornado Alley. You know your house is going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to like get people to stop planting lawns just so we don't have to have an earthquake. Is that pretty much what we're agreeing on?
You solved it right there.
I think that's right. Yeah, Phil.
Well, there you go.
Grassroots hold the earth together.
So is there a solution to
To the water.
the water issues we talked about the last few weeks?
It's fine.
You know, I hate to say it, but I think Beagle is right.
Stop eating a steak.
The overwhelming majority of our water goes to beef. Beef
Yep.
is like the least water efficient.
Yeah, I mean
Food.
that's a fact that's been proven, but is that a problem? Is there an issue?
I think so. I mean, I haven't like stopped consuming beef at all. Not
I
even a
need to
little
slow
bit.
down. I might have sped up a little.
But that probably is the answer. Like to
The answer to what?
like the water situation and probably climate change, to be honest, because they're cutting down like I can't remember so many million acres of rainforest in Brazil every day just to make way for more beef farm, like just so they can raise hay for cattle.
And not replanting.
Well, you can't replant a 300-year-old Brazilian
No, you're
mahogany
right.
tree.
But
course you can.
But you can plant a new tree that will become
you just have to wait 300 years.
that will
and it's the
become a
exact same
natural
tree.
air filter and oxygen provider.
Yeah, I don't know.
But obviously, it's not going to.
I would say, at least in America, I know other countries have very different proportions and diets and stuff. In America, we could definitely cut down on some meat. And I'm not even just talking beef, like
yeah.
pig and chickens and whatever. It's like, truly, you don't need that much meat per meal.
There are FDA suggestions for how much meat you should eat, and on average, I think Americans eat too much.
Like
Yeah.
I think
It's
the thing I
also-
always heard. I always heard it was like a playing card deck. A deck of playing cards is like how much meat you should have in a meal.
Yeah.
And come on, who has that much?
Quarter cup, about
don't
the
know.
size of your fist dish.
I got huge hands, bro.
It's also in the Doctrine and Covenants.
You use it sparingly.
Do you remember that?
No,
Yes, you do.
I don't remember it talking about meat.
The word of wisdom, meat
Yeah.
is for man, but it should be eaten sparingly in season.
See?
Oh
It means only eat deer.
So
no, I think it says
church is
eat
true.
sparingly, well seasoned.
Oh,
Like
that's right.
you want to use good
Oh, you
seasoning.
gotta use
Oh,
mesquite
that was a
seasoning.
typo.
Yeah,
Or not a typo, a right-o.
Yeah, when
he
they-
misinterpreted the revelation.
Yeah.
when they translate it from the Sanskrit scrolls.
See?
What?
So we should create a steak seasoning called In Season.
DNC. What is it? 4?
Don't look at me. I don't know. I haven't looked at them forever.
You guys want to talk about things going on nationwide?
Yeah.
Surely.
We sure do.
So there was a shooting this last week.
Oh, yeah.
It's not getting much publicity.
It's not getting much publicity, and why not?
Oh, this is the one where the guy shot the guy.
Yep.
At the shooting, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was in Indiana at a mall.
Is that true? It's not getting a lot of
And-
publicity?
Not as much as others.
Oh,
Not as much as the Uvalde, Texas shooting, because that was grossly mishandled. And I think it was the mayor of Uvalde who said that the chief of police should have stepped down because it was like terrible. Essentially, the blood of all of those victims are on his hands,
yeah.
just because
That's
it was
mean.
terrible the way that it was managed.
Why is
But-
the mayor so mean there?
right?
It's actually not a joke. They messed up big time. But
Yeah.
this shooting you're talking about in
This one in Indiana at a mall. So a gunman opened fire
with a rifle.
from the bathroom area next to the food court into the food court. He started shooting, fired about 24 rounds from an AR-15 style rifle, which means it's a scary gun, which means it should be illegal. Right?
But it is interesting to note that it's a big, high capacity, big gun. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's a long gun, yes.
a rifle, a long gun. Yep.
So he fired 24 rounds from this rifle, and there was a 20-year-old young man named Douglas Sapperman. No, I'm sorry, that was the name of the shooter. Oops.
Yeah. Damn it.
Dang it.
Screw him. He's dead though. So
Elisha Dickin was a 20-year-old young man there with his girlfriend when he heard the shooting.
was he in the food court? Do you know?
I don't think so. It sounded like he was not there, but he heard it and took out his Glock handgun and was basically motioning for people to get out of there behind him as he was approaching the gunman. He fired at the gunman and stopped the shooting after 2 deaths, I think.
3,
3 deaths?
from what I remember, and a
3
few
deaths
injuries.
and 24 shots.
It's a terrible shot. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say. But I feel like that's why this isn't getting much publicity. Is because of that. What's the solution to a bad guy with a gun? Is a good guy with a gun.
Mm-hmm. It feeds that narrative, right? So it doesn't, it's not one of those stories that, there was nothing we could do. There was
Yeah,
something done.
I feel like
and
it only going to work though if they make a big deal out of it and everyone knows about it. Like if the next 5 mass shootings all get killed after like 1 or 2 deaths, I think they'll give up
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, everyone's got a gun. Anywhere I go, it doesn't matter what I do. Any big crowd, someone's
Yeah.
going to pull out a gun and shoot me,
yeah,
and I'm going to look like an idiot.
you
But
know
here-
that this shooter was positively inspired and more incentivized because of the stories that have happened recently. Uvalde
Yeah.
being one of them. The Las Vegas shooting. All the ones where they essentially opened fire for 5, 10, 15 minutes.
You know,
And
I've never carried a gun, and I've been thinking about it lately because it seems to be happening all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I carry whenever I can. If I'm wearing a Speedo, I don't.
Oh.
People think you are, though.
You carry what? Like in your belt? Your
Yeah,
hip?
and what would that be? 5 o'clock, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
3, 4, 5.
4,
what?
4 or 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock butt cheek?
Yeah, my right butt cheek.
Oh.
I shouldn't say that, should I? But anyways, I carry there, or I have other holsters as well.
Oh.
I don't have like a plethora of them, but I carry it for some reason. And for me, in the summertime, it's a lot more uncomfortable to carry, and I have like, I don't have as baggy or loose of clothes or a jacket or anything like that. So, but yeah, it's interesting because it's crazy to see how the narratives have changed. We went to a parade over the weekend, Draper City Parade, which is always a great parade, by the way. But I had family members that told me that they didn't want to go because they felt like parades really weren't that safe. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, that shooting. I'm like, so you mean Chicago's not that safe? And she's like, it can happen anywhere. Like, she truly was scared that because of this shooting in Chicago at a parade, she didn't want to go to a parade here.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that. It's a concern, but to me, it's a concern that is stemmed from the pushing of a narrative and fear into people, where they think something at Hyde Park, Indiana, Chicago, basically, is going to happen here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Well, they had that shooting, remember, during the BLM protests right in downtown Provo.
Oh, really?
Remember that guy shot at that old guy in his car because he's trying to drive through a crowd or whatever. They wouldn't get out of the way. And so he kind of gunned it a little, and they got out of the way, and someone shot at him.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, and I know when Obama came to town to Salt Lake City, the president hadn't been there for quite some time, like any president. And one of the things that they brought up was that Salt Lake City, or Utah, I should say, usually they go to Salt Lake, obviously, but Utah is one of the things that the Secret Service has to consider is that 60% of people in Utah have concealed carry permits, and they own weapons.
Oh, really?
So statistically, that's a lot of people. And so it's kind of like, okay, no matter where we take the president, there's going to be people with guns, basically. You compare that to like New Jersey or other states that are lower percentages, where it gets down to the teens, as percentage of people that own firearms. So Utah is definitely not the most armed, but is a heavily armed place. And I think there's a lot of people that carry here. And frankly, I think that's a deterrent for people doing stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a deterrent. It's at least a factor that the president takes when he comes here,
Yeah.
in his security teams. So.
Yeah, so according to Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training, or ALERT, there were 434 active shooter attacks in the U.S. from 2000 to 2021. And of those 434, an armed bystander shot the attacker in 22 of those incidences, so 5% of them.
So not much.
Out of those, 10 were a good guy. 10 of those good guys was a security guard or an off-duty police officer. So 12 cases out of 434, somebody with a concealed carry who didn't have law enforcement training, was not a security guard, stopped the incident.
Right.
So not very
much.
much.
Which is way fewer than it should be.
It's way less. It's way less.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting point, too. Like, this guy who went to the food court chose a very heavily public place. And I think your chances of having someone stop you like that, like whether it's an off-duty police officer or a Joe Blow or whoever, but if you take it into a school, guess what? Your chances of being stopped by one of the armed people in that school is very, very, very low because nobody's armed in there.
Yeah.
So it depends on where it takes place as well, I'd say.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I drop my kids off or pick them up from school, I'm like, this is just like a wacko's buffet out here. The kids just running around. There's like 6 or 8, like 20, 30-year-old teacher women, like, watching them. Like, not that it matters that they're women, but it's just like...
You're so sexist.
Such a sexist.
Not a lot of protection.
Yeah. So I think that it's an old adage and it's super cliche, but definitely the best way to stop a bad person with a gun is to have someone who's a good person have a gun around them.
Yeah.
In all cases, that is the case, whether it's a police officer, an
Right.
off-duty security guard, or just some person
Some dude.
who carries.
Yep.
I do wonder if there shouldn't be like a rapid response officer who patrols like within a certain radius of schools or public places like malls, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he's doing his regular patrol work, but he's like never more than a mile away, or I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
It'd be impossible.
No,
like-
you just hire one more guy to do that.
Okay. Never mind. Solved.
Well, hopefully police officers, police districts are revamping the way that they deal with stuff like that. Like in Uvalde, clearly they had some training that they didn't do.
I do think that there are bad police departments and there are good ones. Because like
Yeah.
here, my dad would tell me like, oh yeah, we're going to do active shooter training over at this junior high today in Orem or something. The SWAT team was, right? Like they go in, they talk to the school. Hey, this is what we need from you in a shooter situation when we're coming in. You know, this is what you should expect. This is what we don't want you to do. Like they go through that with everyone because they're ready to roll right in. So obviously somebody dropped the ball big time, either by not preparing or poor leadership, or I don't know a lot about the particulars, but it seems like they
You dropped the ball.
dropped the ball. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's carry more often.
Yeah.
Solve the problem.
Roger that.
Or let's fix all the other problems too, like social media,
Let's just shut that one off.
Mental health.
mental health, prescription drug use, whatever's causing all these people to want to kill people.
Yep.
In
Mind
violent
control.
video games is not the problem.
Mind control.
Because
MK Ultra,
you know, 'cause-
MK Ultra.
well, and if you think
remote
about
viewing.
it, let's say, like I said, the next 10 active shooters get shot as soon as they pull their gun out. It's just unsuccessful. Like now, isn't the next one just going to be like, well, I'm just going to walk in and detonate a bomb in my backpack so no one even
Right.
knows it's coming. Like, so good
Yeah.
guys with guns isn't going to help anything.
Well, the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a bomb is a good,
Is a good guy
with
with a bomb, right?
Yeah.
With a bomb sniffing dog.
With a bomb sniffing dog.
Yeah.
You cut me off.
So everyone needs their bomb sniffing dog everywhere they go,
And a gun.
and a gun.
And lasers. Sharks with lasers.
Yep. So as soon as that
Frickin'
dog
lasers.
runs up to that person and sniffs them, bang,
Yeah.
they're dead.
Pre-crime.
Right.
That's what we need. Is
And it
pre-crime.
ended up it was just a donut
That's
in
right.
their pocket.
Minority
Pre-crime.
Report.
Minority Report from Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
We need Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
The best way to stop any criminal is Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
The only way to stop a bad guy with a thing is a good guy with Tom Cruise.
It's Tom Cruise.
A good guy with Tom Cruise.
He'll fly in on a jet, parachute down, and then precog his way through the situation.
Arrest you. I'm under arrest. For
Yeah.
what? The murder of so-and-so. I didn't do anything.
You will.
But you will.
You thought about it.
That was the tagline. But you will.
That's a great movie. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Catchphrase.
It's good.
Yeah. Like that
I
was
need to watch it
concept
again.
is so
I haven't
cool.
seen it in a long time.
that was one of
It's
the
been like
few
20 years.
movies I've seen in my life where I was just like 100% in the movie. You know, like
Right.
like reality was gone. I'm just like I'm there with him the whole time, just like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? Right up
It was-
until the end.
It's a good movie.
That one
Yeah.
in the original SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jurassic Park, but
By the way, I went and saw that despite your advice not to.
oh yeah, Jurassic World
Yeah.
5.
It was so good.
Good.
when it ended.
The popcorn was
It was
great.
not worth. Did you see it too, Jake?
No,
It was-
I'm following Phil's advice.
I tried to warn you,
Because
Well-
I warned him about
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, and he went and saw it anyway.
Well, no, I actually watched it in my living room, and I regretted that.
oh,
wow.
So
on
Well-
Apple TV or
on Disney Plus.
Disney
yeah.
Plus.
To be fair, I went for someone's birthday and I said, "What movie you want to watch? Any movie." They're like Jurassic Park. I'm like, okay.
Except that one.
or Jurassic World, whatever.
Yeah.
And I probably would have rather watched Minions.
Yeah.
I heard Minions is actually pretty good.
I have no idea. I mean,
haven't
we're going to
seen
see
it,
it this
but-
weekend, huh, Phil?
Yeah, we're going to the drive-in.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I don't think my kids have ever been to the drive-in. Unless they're infants and they don't remember.
It's a good time. Have you been down to that drive-in
I haven't
in Mount Pleasant?
drove by it.
You should come.
I know. I should.
They got like a great burger stand there. You go order a burger and some popcorn.
That's what Justin was saying. He's like, $20. We've had like a huge meal and a movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Rock and roll.
It's
Can you
great.
sneak pizza in there?
And it's a smaller town. Everyone's like happy and doesn't want to shoot like whole schools full of kids.
And if they did start shooting, everyone would just pull out their guns.
Yeah.
There are carriers down there.
Or they'd probably just be like, "Oh, what's the matter, buddy?" And he'd be like, "Oh, these people are kind and love me." He'd cry and drop his gun and eat a hamburger, sit down on the grass and watch
Soft
the
music
movie.
starts playing and
Yeah.
it pans out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like on Big Fish where he runs into that small town. Everyone's so happy.
Yeah, I'm going to say yeah.
Yep.
That movie
one.
I saw 15 years ago. That was
There you
awesome.
go.
That movie I remember totally. Hmm.
Where everyone was lied to their whole life. That's all I remember from the movie. The father lied to everyone or something.
Oh, the storytelling
Yeah.
father. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he
Liar.
didn't lie. It was like an exaggeration. So there was a lot of truth. to
Phil, we
everything
have
he
some
said.
fuzzy ethics boundaries with you.
It's
Oh,
like-
I didn't lie to you. I just kind of exaggerated.
Well, that's what exaggeration means.
Lying.
No.
Oh.
If I say I went to McDonald's and it was like $13, but it was only $11.50.
That's a lie. Or what if you're like, honey, I wasn't at the strip club. It's like, I wasn't at the strip club, but I was at a strip club.
Right.
It's just an
Because
exaggeration.
the strip club is a different one.
Yeah.
I get
Anyways,
Yeah.
don't lie to your wife, Phil.
it. Oh.
So what do you guys think is the oldest thing at a Chinese food restaurant?
The oldest
If you go to a
thing?
Chinese food restaurant and you're like, wow, that's really old.
The hostess.
What do you mean old?
Old.
Like the
age-wise. Age-wise.
The hostess.
Like in any given Chinese restaurant,
Yeah.
Yeah, the hostess.
what the oldest thing there is?
Yeah.
The hostess.
The Buddha sitting on the wall.
Ooh,
Good guess.
the soy sauce.
No.
The koi fish in the pond.
Also, good guess. But there was a restaurant in China where they found a 100 million year old footprint from a dinosaur
100.
In the restaurant?
in the restaurant. I guess
Oh.
part of the restaurant, the dining area, is outside,
Uh-huh.
and it has a dirt ground
Okay, so this was in front of the restaurant.
or in the back, I think.
Who found that?
I guess they removed some of the dirt and uncovered the footprint of 2 sauropods. The sauropod is a type of dinosaur that lived during the early Cretaceous period.
Yeah, what are they? Sauropods.
Brontosaurus is a sauropod,
Oh, that's right.
which is the largest known dinosaur living thing to have ever lived on land, and up to like 3 school buses long.
Is this their CCP propaganda trying to tag on to the popularity of Jurassic World?
Probably.
I feel like it is.
Probably.
They probably poured them at concrete. Said
Correction.
It's a cephalopod.
Correction, my statement. It was they found it using a 3D scanner. Why they were scanning that area, I don't know. Probably surveillance.
Yeah.
But so
Probably spying on their own population.
the size of this sauropod dinosaur was estimated to be about 20-ish feet. So that's a big animal. And apparently the footprint is 100 million years old.
Wow.
Older than the hostess.
Older than the Buddhist statue.
Buddha statue.
And the koi.
Older than the soy sauce.
Yeah. That's probably the oldest thing ever found in any Chinese restaurant.
Okay. I understand your
So that's
question
cool.
now. I thought you meant in any restaurant that was a Chinese restaurant. Like you walk into Panda Express. What's the oldest
that would
thing
fall
there?
under that umbrella, yeah.
Sure.
I thought you were going to say like the meat that was sitting in the back.
Yeah. The spring rolls.
I was vague enough to include all things.
I
but
get it.
Yeah, so that's cool that they found dinosaurs. So I stumbled upon this news article item because I was looking for positive news, and I actually went to the second page of Google to find that one.
Oh, that's so sad.
World news.
You typed in positive news and it took
No,
you 2
just
pages.
world news
Oh,
today.
And you were looking for
in
something
Google.
positive.
Yeah, and I was looking for something that wasn't political or COVID related or shootings related
Or Ukraine.
or
That's
Ukraine. There's a lot of stuff about Ukraine going on, but
Right.
anyway. So that's a good thing.
I'm glad you
I
found it.
found a dinosaur footprint.
Sore bones.
Yeah, have you ever gone to like Vernal and found the dinosaur footprints?
No, St. George. I haven't gone to the ones in Vernal, though.
Yeah, there's like a hike you do, and then you get out onto this like rock beach, and apparently, if you're there a certain time of day, they all like illuminate from the shadows, like later in the day. But they're really hard to see otherwise. A lot of them.
And if the light just hits them right, you can see them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
There's if you're ever down in St. George, go to the dinosaur museum there. There's like a little, it's just a small building, but what they did was this guy was building a strip mall, construction guy, and he actually started digging up dirt and he hit rock and realized, holy crap, there's a lot of footprints here.
Yeah.
And the thing was there's no like skeletal stuff. What it is it was the edge of a lake and it was very muddy. So what they think happened was all these footprints occurred in this muddy lake, and then some sort of storm, like a massive dust storm, must have just coated it with inches of dust and just encased it. And so you had these very definite different layers of mud and then like dry pack on top of it. And then eventually all of it got covered up and turned into rock.
Yeah.
So as they dug down, they found this layer of just,
Wow.
it's unbelievable, dude. There's literally real live in the rock prints of a big, like a velociraptor type animal. It was a relative of that, but not a velociraptor. I can't remember the name of it. So I knew it is one of my favorite dinosaurs after I went there. I even bought a little action figure guy of him, but
The
you
Utah
can
Raptor?
see, no, it's a different one, but you can see like 30 feet of footprints of this guy walking from where he was over to this space. You can see him where he kneeled down and his butt and his tail hit the mud.
Wow.
And his hands are eating something. Like he crouched down
Wow.
and he ate something, and you can see some of the bones from the thing he ate and
That's
like
crazy.
scrape marks from its hands eating it, and it gets up and walks away. Like the coolest thing about it is you can see that in the stone.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. I mean, if you just looked at it, it would be kind of hard to decipher, but obviously they figured it out. So they're like, if you look at marker number 1, it starts walking over to here, it stops, the footprints get deeper, it proceeds forward, gets this thing, shows the butt print. Anyways, it's amazing. It's so cool. And they have like a
That's
whole
down in
bunch
St.
of
George?
different animals. Yeah. That was just one animal. I'm not joking. They had the stories like that from probably 12 or 14 different breeds and animals of dinosaurs during that time frame. It's super neat.
How do they just use carbon dating for the stone, like immediately adjacent to
Yeah.
where the footprints are to figure out how old it
Sometimes
is?
they can't even directly date stuff like that. They usually date it from like other stuff. So they're like, well, this is this type of dinosaur, and we know it lived in this period.
Mm-hmm.
This rock is way older, but so we're assuming,
Early Cretaceous
Yeah.
as opposed to late Cretaceous period.
But they typically can't like carbon date the rock, to my understanding. If it's just
You
a
can't-
rock,
You can't carbon date them. And
Yeah,
carbon
there would
is
it's lack thereof.
there'd have to
There's
be-
like no carbon.
there'd have to
left,
be like
right?
a toenail stuck in there. Or
some
something.
sort of organic matter still in
Yeah.
there.
But what they can do is geologically, they know when layers existed and when certain
Yeah.
things. So it's more of a geological reference. If you ever notice, like the Jurassic period, whatever, they're massive chunks of time. They're
Yeah.
they're not like very
They're like-
definite.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of years.
And if they bled over into the next one, they wouldn't really say. They just kind of arbitrarily drew lines saying, "Well, this is the time frame."
Yeah,
know.
I'm curious to know, like, to go back. Love to go back in time and see how accurate our theories are about all
Right.
of these time frames. We could be so far off.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got a lot of smart scientists who give a general idea, right? But
Right.
100,000 years is like, that's a huge gap of time.
That's a big chunk of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Considering we've been keeping record for, handful of maybe 1,000 years
Yeah.
at the most.
Yeah, I think our ability to accurately date that stuff is pretty limited, but
Plus, one atomic bomb from the aliens,
yeah.
basically erases, Anyway,
Right. Plus, when the world
Before
is
they built the
flat,
pyramids.
it's like the sun is always on.
Yeah, and then 9/11 and,
Yeah.
HARP,
Exactly.
K Ultra,
Eating babies.
yeah, all those true things.
monochromal,
All those true things.
Pizzagate.
This time on Conspiracy Theory Podcast. So we've been all around the world today, and we're gratefully appreciative of you joining us on this journey
Yeah, Magellan.
to figure out what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like we fixed anything today?
Yes.
Fixed America.
Let's start listing them out.
Okay.
Number one, I didn't know that Otter Pops changed their labels and their packaging.
Oh,
They're
did.
no longer clear
white.
packaging.
And
yeah.
they're 100% juice now with no artificial colors.
I don't think any of that's true.
It is. They're primarily apple juice based. And they have a little artificial flavoring, but no color.
No corn syrup.
Because everyone's all up in arms about Red,
Red
40,
40?
now.
I can't even tell if you're serious right now.
I'm dead serious.
Okay. Well, Phil eats 20 per day, so
25.
we established that.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, we have solved America.
It sounds like a lot, but there's probably 20 Otter Pops make up like one glass of apple juice. So it's not that much.
How else did you justify eating half a box of Otter Pops?
Or like a whole box of ice cream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How
Well,
else do you justify
It's
that?
hot outside.
Okay,
so I
that's a
just-
good
I
reason.
need
That
to
is
cool down.
actually. I want some Otter Pops right now.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna grab some on the way
Or a
out.
big snow cone. You know who has the best snow cones is the Snow Cone Shack in American Fork, right by the old Fred Meyer, which is now like what, a Gold's Gym
Used
or
to
something?
be Snow Shack, which was one of my first jobs actually working
Yeah.
there. But now it's a can't remember the name.
Now
of
it's
it,
a
but-
hula kula balula,
Yeah,
It's
one of
amazing.
those.
and it's the best because I go
yeah.
to them all the time, all over the place.
Yeah.
And this one has like fluffy, powdery
Yeah.
snow.
It's
I was
not
gonna-
shaved ice. It's
Halua
like snow.
Koi.
Yeah,
it's like
it's snow.
Halua Koi.
I don't know.
No,
we have a tab there. I know what you're talking about. It's like all Hawaiian based and
No,
No, they
those
have
are trailers
those
all
ones.
over the place, which
Oh.
are they're okay. They have like this is a
Short
different
board.
one. I've only seen
It's
the
different.
one in American
Oh.
Fork.
But it is like different. I know the one you're talking about. It's pretty good. It's better than your average crunchy, like
Yeah, screw
roughly
that.
shaved nonsense.
Right.
This one's like, it's like cotton candy texture of ice.
I'm interested. I'm interested enough to take all my kids to American Fork just to try it.
You should try it.
Come to American Fork.
Okay.
Do you guys get the sweetened condensed milk on your snow cones?
Yes.
Sometimes.
I think that's a very good addition to a snow cone.
You know what? I made Filipino food for my wife's family. We just went camping.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
And we had this Filipino dish called halo halo, which they sell all the ingredients like in the Asian market, but there's like, you know, those little balls that are in the tea you get at like boba
Yeah.
tea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got like those in them and little chunks of Jello and like fruit, like mango and stuff, and then a bunch of shaved ice, and then they put like a scoop of ice cream, and then like drizzle some sweetened condensed milk, and then you just halo halo means mix, so you just like stir it all together. It was a good time.
I thought you made food for him.
Yeah, but I also made dessert.
They've got the similar thing in Korea. It's called patbingsu.
Bless you.
It's like shaved ice with fresh fruit. And they actually do like sweet cocoa beans or like sweet red beans in there.
Yeah, there are beans in there too.
Yeah. And
I'm sure they copied it from the Philippines, or vice versa.
or it's all Chinese food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all from China.
It's really Swedish.
Yeah.
There's a place over by us called something. I can't remember. Shakira. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a Japanese place though. What they do?
Hips don't lie. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yeah.
Pimps don't
Sorry.
cry.
Hips don't lie.
Stop
My
it,
hips
guys.
don't lie.
But they'll take the block of ice and they shave it just like shaved ice, but it's actually ice cream blocks that are frozen solid.
Oh,
they're not
cool.
like they're solid.
Yeah.
And so they put them on a shaved ice thing. So the thing is, you get a whole big bowl order of it. Truth is, if you let it melt, it's probably like half a cup
Yeah.
of liquid, but it's all shaved and fluffy. pretty dang good. They
Yeah.
have some weird flavors because like they have a green tea one just because it's like a Japanese thing. So they have some interesting flavors, but my kids really like that. I can't remember what it's called though. So
This is all making
just drive
me
around,
want
just drive
some
around West Valley.
until we find the
Yeah.
Japanese, and we'll
Yeah.
just yell out the window.
Yeah.
Is this the place that has the shaved ice cream?
No, this is Cheddar's.
Yeah,
Cheddar's.
that'd be
whatever.
good.
Anyway,
No, but all this cold stuff would be good because the whole world's like it's on fire right now. Like Europe's like boiling.
4,000.
Yeah, major.
degrees.
Yeah, I mean, we're having a drought in the United States, but it's pretty bad in Europe.
Yeah,
too.
they're breaking all kinds of all-time high records.
Well, I heard on the news that like UK, the average house doesn't even have air conditioning
No, because
they don't need it.
I think it's like temperate because it's like an island. So and I didn't know this either, but London apparently is higher in not altitude,
Destitute?
longitude,
Oh,
latitude.
higher in latitude
The
than,
lines that go east to west.
than Maine.
oh,
So it's really far north. So and it's really humid,
and cold.
like you said. So for it to be 104 degrees, I think they said it got to.
It's miserable.
It's wild.
Yeah,
There
We
have been over 1,000 deaths in like Spain and Europe just from heat.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't know what to do.
it's crazy.
Well, it's probably COVID.
Well, definitely
yeah.
COVID. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be COVID or climate change.
Guns.
Or
and
guns.
sometimes both.
Yeah,
Sometimes all three.
Melting ice caps. Yeah.
I get it.
Yep.
What were you saying, Jeff?
Oh, I was just going to say, are you ending this podcast?
Well, what else did we learn before we close?
Oh,
We learned.
don't start talking and then not have something.
What did
Don't
we
park
learn?
did
in
you
American Fork Canyon.
Oh yeah.
A
Where to
good guy with
go.
a gun is a good thing.
Except if it's a bomb.
Yep.
And
Good
what
guy
else?
with a bomb's still a bad thing.
But yeah, so bad guy with gun is less than good guy with gun is less than Tom Cruise.
Is less than a snow
If you wanted
cone, an American
a
fork. Fred
mathematical
Meyer.
equation.
Divided
Yeah.
by 30 rounds,
Yep.
223
9 millimeter. Or
milliliter.
223.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we learned a lot today, and it solved all the problems in the world.
Go to Dirty Dough, try it out, see if it's good enough,
Yeah.
Before they get sued.
and share this episode of the podcast.
Oh yeah, share it with your friends, your family. Share it with everyone you know or see. Your boss, people you work with, people you go to church with, everyone you talk to. Say, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, the American Forked podcast. I can't get enough. Listen right now.
Why do they keep solving America?
Next time on the show, we may or may not talk about the gay agenda in Hollywood. If you guys give me some time, because I won't be hosting next time. Maybe next time I'll host, I'll talk about it.
Oh.
I have a lot to say about it.
Oh, Jake is homophobe over here.
Because I just
So-
I just recently watched the new Thor movie, which I loved, and it's by one of my favorite directors.
Was there a gay agenda in that?
There was.
What?
Can we just jump
I
straight to it?
can't. You haven't seen it yet.
Can we just
Yeah,
call it gay
I did
gen-
see it.
You
Can
did
we
see
call it-
Thor?
That's why I didn't come. Is
You s-
because I'd already seen it, and I hang out with you and the
But
Holy Spirit all
you
the
didn't
time.
catch the gay thing in there?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Between the girls?
No. Well, there was that, but that wasn't the only.
No, tell me. Just say it.
No, I
Spoiler
can't
alert.
because I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh,
It's a brand new movie. Jeff hasn't seen it. It's not animated.
That's right. Waiting for the animated
you're
version.
saying the gay part in the movie is a spoiler?
No.
Oh,
Well, kind of.
fine. We'll talk about it next time.
There's nothing like a podcast slowly fizzling out with an argument.
There's nothing like Jeff
strong
really
ending.
wanting to end the
A teaser
podcast.
that's not really a teaser. That's just another conversation tailing on the end of the episode.
I feel like outside's going to be warmer than the studio.
Yeah.
It is pretty warm in here. Coming at you straight from 6 Foot Studios.
The 6 foot oven.
This has been the American Forked Podcast. We fix America one episode at a time. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the show. Give us some money. Bye.
Goodbye.
Konnichiwa. Wait, that's a
Oh, and order
Annyeong.
our merchandise.
yeah, that we have.
Oh, yeah, we have merchandise, right?
Nope.
Oh, you're so funny.